Today we got Not High Priestess. Oh god.
The law of detachment works every single time. It is the reason that person you could give less of a fuck about is chasing you down. You literally can't escape them. It's the reason that job you literally could care less about is hunting you down. It is the reason you are in karmic cycles with people that you cannot escape, that you have forgotten about, you've moved on from. Because the moment you detach, you hold all the power. When it comes to that person, when it comes to that job, even when it comes to your body. So you may be asking, how do I detach? The way we do this is number one, remembering who the you are. The only reason you're attached to this person or this thing is because you forgot who you are. Up in the comments at least one reason why this person should be literally worshiping the ground you walk on. Why that.
Okay, so this advice works really good for guys. Main reason for that is because as a guy, you want to be in the masculine position, which means the leadership position, which means the dominant position. In this case, she's referring to it as a law of detachment. I've always known of it as the law of attraction. But unfortunately, it doesn't work all that well unless you're extremely self-aware. For the vast majority of women, this is just going to be another bit of that girl boss advice where if you just let go, you're better than him, he'll come to you. If he wants it, he'll do it. Or what's the saying they always say? If he wanted to, he would. It's on that type of energy. This advice, unfortunately, is just regurgitated Eastern mysticism, but it doesn't attack the core root issue like it's supposed to. Instead, all it does is serve as more cope. Let me give you a direct example of what I mean. Sometimes in life, you get caught in a repetitive cycle where the more you want something, the further away it goes from you. There will be moments where you'll have to go back to zero in order to recalibrate and not let emotions plague your decisions. In moments like this, thinking about these types of principles can be a good thing. Now, let me give you the practical example of how this type of advice will likely be used by this girl's audience. He doesn't want to initiate every single conversation. He doesn't want to pay all of my bills for me. He doesn't want to beg me to marry him. If he wanted to, he would. Therefore, I should attach. Do you get the point? This is the type of advice you could take from some old monk who's been thinking about these things for decades. When it comes from a girl with a girl boss attitude, you know that that perspective has been plagued with delusion. It's not useful.
Job needs you, why that city needs you. Secondly, we create detachment through abundance. Usually the only reason we are attached to something is because we have a scarcity mindset around it. Fastest hacks to detach is actually just
it seems to me like she's ripping off of a lot of guys' content and just regurgitating it as girls' content. It doesn't work in both directions. Not typically, anyway. In the modern era, girls are born with abundance. There's no seeking abundance when you're already born in it. This is why I'm saying this is based in delusion. Unless, of course, you think that being middle class is considered scarcity and being ultra rich is considered abundant. By that metric, you're most certainly delusional. So
abundance. Realize that the thing you want is not your only option in this life. The most
as soon as they mention get a roster, you know it's just feminist speak, right? Let's be honest.
effective detachment is when you bring your energy that is leaking elsewhere back onto you. Every thought you have about someone else or something else, you need to center yourself in.
Okay, so you're obsessed with that one guy that didn't do exactly what you expected him to do, so you had to leave, and now you're still thinking about him, so the only way to compensate for that is by getting a giant roster and bringing all the energy to self. I mean, all you're doing is enabling feminist cope. Let's just be real.
That thought. So instead of, oh my God, I want that person, oh my God, that person needs me. That job would be so lucky to have. When you become the center, your energy no longer leaks outward and you become a magnet that magnetizes these people and opportunities to you. If you are struggling to detach and you just want to make that person obsessed with you, I'm going to teach you exactly how to detach, make that person obsessed, crawling after you inside of Become Their Obsession at the top of my page. So go run through that and follow for more.
You just know this strategy is probably going to work. Buying her product is no different than buying smut, but it is what it is. Hey guys, before we continue, I just want to quickly let you know that I do have a dating course available where I go over all the essential concepts of modern dating. Make sure to check it out. I put the link in the description for you. Let's get back to the video. All right, let's get on to the next one. Brie Le Club
is what to say to a girl if you're trying to flirt with her in public. I'm not going to give you the full script because people love authenticity, and if I just tell you what to say, it's not going to feel authentic. But I will give you some tips on like what are some good things to say.
I'm just going to point out something really quickly that many of you might have noticed, but I'm going to put it out in the open anyway. Notice the vibe difference between this girl and the first girl. It's legit night and day. Now, obviously, both these girls could be actresses and they could be putting on some form of an act, but I do want to say that there is a giant difference in that act and perception, and I'm willing to bet that this one is way less feminist in nature. Let's see if I'm right.
The way that I like to be approached is a little bit backwards because something that I don't really like is when people come up to me and say like, oh my god, I thought you were so pretty, I just wanted to come talk to you. Because like then I just immediately know the intention of why they were coming up to me. It's like, oh, you just thought I was pretty, you didn't like see anything else that was interesting about me, and it's just less engaging. Versus if you come up to me and you say like, oh my god, I really love your sweater, that's so cool and unique, I've never seen that before.
I'm not sure how many times I've mentioned it, but I'll mention it again. Don't compliment their looks, guys. It's a very outdated way of doing this. When you compliment their looks, all you're doing is taking a risk that they'll feel like you view them purely as an object, okay? This is just girl logic 101. Yes, we're all initially attracted to each other based on physicality, of course, right? So it doesn't make sense to a lot of guys why complimenting that very thing would be a problem, but it's purely about the feeling, right? When it comes to girls, they're all about feelings. You guys should know this. You immediately talking about the way they look raises an alarm bell in their head, which makes them think that you're not really interested in anything that's actually tangible or useful or meaningful. It's purely just surface level, right? This is the whole idea, and this is where the negative feeling from that comes from.
A really good style. It's like, wow, you just complimented me, but also like complimented something that I chose about myself and that I was doing. Or like if I was reading a book and you're like, oh my god, I love that book, like how far are you? It engages like a dialogue that I can actually respond to, versus if you just say, oh, you're really pretty, it's like, thank you, I appreciate it.
There's also a humble factor in complimenting someone's choice rather than their looks. Nobody chooses the way they physically look, at least not their facial structure and whatnot. Sure, you can control your weight to some degree, but you get my point.
Easy one is a lot of people wear headphones outside, so if you want to be annoying and make somebody take out their headphone, you can be like, I saw you were listening to music, it seemed like you were vibing to it, like I was just wondering what you were listening to. Because like it may seem a little weird, but like it at least engages a dialogue. She is going to respond to that. She's going to be like, oh, this is the song I'm listening to, and then you can respond in like, oh, I love that type of music, or I've never heard that before. Like you can divulge into your own music. It's really just about starting a conversation that is able to turn into a conversation instead of starting a conversation that has nowhere to go.
I've legitimately encountered resistance when telling guys to just say a regular ass line that's practically useful. A lot of guys these days are stuck in this echo chamber where they get to dictate how cringy something sounds to girls, but they themselves never tested it in real life. It's only based on their perception. It's no different than the looks maxing crowd. In the end of the day, what is the looks maxing for? Or in this case, the opening line. Is this sort of like bodybuilding where you get into a room with other guys and start comparing each other? Because that's fine. Or is it functional and actually helps you get results with girls? What she said is exactly the truth, and it does not need to be more complicated than this. Go up to her with some slightly tangible excuse for conversation and let it run its course. It's that simple. The simplest things have always worked for me. As long as I have some tangible excuse to break the ice, I can build rapport from there. It's no different than sales. Your main objective is to break the ice, and right after that, you want to make sure you're non-threatening. In the case of sales, being threatening would mean this person is here to take from me. In the case of women, it's being creepy. This guy definitely is obsessed with me. Hopefully that makes sense.
Approaching a woman really isn't as scary as you guys make it seem to be. Like, I know it seems like you're just gonna get rejected, and you probably will, but like, it only takes one time for it to go well, and then it'll go well. And I believe in you. It's not that scary, I promise.
Exactly what she said. It's not that big of a deal. Also consider the fact that you don't have to lay out all of your chips on the table all at once. Too many of you guys refuse to exist in some form of limbo. You can open conversation without revealing all of your intent up front and see how it goes. If the dynamic allows for it, you can then push further. If it's not going the way you wanted to, you can pull back. It's that simple. For whatever reason, guys make everything so black and white with everything. I have to tell her I love her right now. It's pointless and it's ridiculous. You only go all in when the odds are in your favor. Until that point, it's best to play conservative. This is assuming, of course, that you believe going all in is even necessary. I'm not even sure it is. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Make sure to check my links in the description below.